The Bihar Assembly election of 2025 has delivered a decisive mandate for National Democratic Alliance, with the BJP crossing its 2010 benchmark of 91 seats and alliance comfortably ahead of the India bloc. Behind this outcome lies a mix of social shifts, organizational discipline, and a campaign that knew exactly whom it was speaking to. A central factor in this year's result is the steady consolidation of the women's vote. This is a constituency the NDA under Nitish Kumar has been nurturing since 2005 through a series of welfare measures that began with free bicycles for schoolgirls and reservations in government jobs. Over the years, the Jivika network of self-help groups has expanded to touch millions of households, and during these polls, the government's 10,000 rupee entrepreneurship support further deepened this connection. In an election with record turnout, women outvoted men in more than 100 constituencies, shaping the final tally in visible ways. With the high outmigration of men, women have increasingly become primary managers of both home and outside world, and they have consistently supported a government that consider attentive to their needs. This pattern becomes even clearer when we look at district-wise turnout data released by the Election Commission on November 12. In districts where the share of women voters crossed 51%, reached up to 55%. The NDA's vote share was significantly higher than that of the India bloc. In 8 districts, covering 53 seats, women formed 53 to 55% of voters, and the NDA lead over the MGP widened to between 11 and 15 percentage points. In contrast, in districts where men and women voted in similar proportions or where men outnumbered women, the gap between the alliances narrowed noticeably. These trends are based on results available until 12:30 p.m. on Friday, but the pattern is unmistakable. This year's election also saw 4 lakh more women voting than men, even though men outnumbered women by more than 40 lakh in the electoral rolls. The provincial turnout for women was 71.6% and for men it was 62.8%, mirroring the gender turnout trend seen in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, where the NDA secured nearly the same vote share as it has now. One policy in particular appears to have strengthened this support: the Mukhyamantri Mahila Rozgar Yojana, which transferred 10,000 rupees directly to women across the state, reinforced the NDA's pitch that its government's model begins with securing women's economic agency and mobility. This is a continuation of Nitish Kumar's long-standing strategy of building a stable and loyal women's vote base. A closer look into a party-wise vote share strengthens this conclusion. In seats allocated in districts where women formed 53 to 55% of voters, the JDU's vote share reached nearly 24%. In districts where the women and men voted in equal proportion, the JDU's share dropped in around 16%. The BJP's vote share remained relatively steady across categories, while the RJD performed better in areas where men outnumbered women or where the gender turnout gap was minimal. The women's mandate has clearly shaped the arithmetic of 2025 and has been particularly advantageous for the JDU. Another major force in this election has been the aspirational vote, especially among the youth in one of India's youngest states. Political newcomer Prashant Kishore foregrounded issues like outmigration and lack of local employment opportunities, sharpening the choices available to voters. Many young voters concluded that the NDA, with its long record in governments, remained better placed to address these long-running challenges. This acted both as an endorsement of the alliance and as a warning for the incoming government, which will now be expected to produce visible results on these fronts in the months ahead. Organization and chemistry within NDA played a critical role as well. After bitter experience of 2020, when the LJP's independent contest damaged the JDU in 32 seats, the alliance approached 2025 with far greater caution. Union Home Minister Amit Shah took charge of the micromanaging the campaign, conducting coordination meetings between JDU and LJP workers who have been long-standing rivals on the ground, and holding one-on-one conversations with nearly 100 rebel candidates to persuade them to withdraw. Even before the campaign began, alliance partners at every level from the mandal to the state held coordination meetings to ensure that votes would transfer smoothly. As a result, All allies, including BJP, JDU, LGP, Hindustan Awam Morcha, the Rashtriya Lokatantrik Morch, won a majority of seats they contested. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's early declaration that NDA would contest under Nitish Kumar's leadership also removed uncertainty around the chief ministerial question. The picture that emerges from these numbers and narratives is consistent. The NDA's mandate in 2025 is rooted in a deep and well-cultivated relationship with women voters, a clear organizational strategy that avoided past mistakes, steady governance messaging, and an opposition that struggled to match the alliance cohesion and clarity. The story will continue to evolve as the final numbers come in, but the underlying trends are now firmly visible. For more such videos, subscribe to the Hindu's YouTube channel.